Turn my mic back on. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. So we'll get started in just a few minutes. I want to come on to make sure that everything is going okay because I remember last meeting I had my mic back on. Some technical
Hello,
difficulties.
hello, hello. Good evening,
Let me
everyone.
turn that off. So we'll get started in just. Let me exit out of that. I don't need that anymore. At least I don't think I do. But yes, turn off my notifications. Get ready. We're starting in 2 minutes, y'all. Okay. All righty. I'm so happy to see each and every one of you here tonight. Yes, learning about some hair care, my favorite subject. Hello, hello. Let me pull up my notes. Over there. All righty. We'll be starting in 1 minute. Oh, it's been an eventful week this week, especially since we had the eclipse yesterday. That was kind of fun. That was really fun, actually. Watching the moon go over the sun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We certainly did, and we had our glasses, so that was pretty cool. We didn't have to shield our eyes. We could look straight at it through the glasses. But if you looked through the glasses and wasn't looking at the sun, you couldn't see anything. They were actually like blackout glasses. Yeah. Mhm. I know there's some people still trying to come on, so I will give it a second. And don't be shy, guys. If you want to come on camera, I'd love to see your faces. That way I can see who I'm talking to. Everybody's all shy. I know some people might have a little social anxiety. That's fine. All right, just a second. All righty. All right, so it's 7:30, and I know whenever I do these online classes, I know that there's going to be people who are going to come in 2, 3, 4 minutes late, 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late. But I'm an on-time girl, so I'm going to go ahead and start. And then everybody who misses the beginning or misses it, they can just watch the replay on YouTube. Yeah, that way I won't hold people up who are actually like on time. But I understand people have things to do or might even be like in a different time zone. Because if you're on the West Coast and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time might be a little bit too early. You might be just getting off work or picking up the kids from school or something like that. Yeah. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to defeat breakage and finally get some length. Um, I know this is a major problem for a lot of people, hair breakage. And hair breakage would be the number one cause of people not being able to grow their hair longer. A lot of people, they say, they ask the question, well, why does my hair grow and it stops at a certain length? And most of the time, especially for people with texture hair, it'll be shoulder length. Like back in the day, shoulder length was like the standard for long for, people of color, you know. All right. So first of all, I want to introduce myself just in case there's people out there who don't know who I am and what I do. Hi, my name is Tamika. I'm your online hair care teacher and personal hair coach. I work behind the chair for over 15 years, helping women grow their hair from short to long, educating women on proper hair care so that in between salon visits, they could know how to properly care for their hair, which is very important. It is my God-given mission to help as many people as possible learn how to care for their own hair, solve their own hair problems, and grow the hair of their dreams. And so that's what I'm all about, helping people be able to empowering people to be able to care for their own hair, so you don't have to be reliant upon other people, stylists or family members or something for your hair care. You can actually do things yourself and be able to, solve problems, be able to pick out products and all those type of things. Yeah. And Tiara, it's so good to see you. I've been thinking about you, girl. I've really been thinking about you. Okay, so you may feel discouraged or even defeated. And I remember back in the day when I was on long hair care forum, my username was actually "Don't Speak Defeat." So I was one of those girls that was like, "You can't tell me I'm not growing no hair because I'm gonna grow some hair." And it's funny because back then I wasn't when I first started on long hair care forum, I wasn't a hairstylist. I became a hairstylist later. But even during the course of that time when I was there, I still gave hair advice because it's something that God just implanted in me to do naturally, which I love that because I love to teach and I love to help people. So this is like right in the vein of what I need to be doing. But you may feel discouraged or even defeated because your hair is breaking. You don't know what to do. You wonder why your hair is still breaking despite of all the effort. Like I know a lot of people say, I've tried everything. I've watched all the videos. I've asked 1,000 questions. And you just can't get your hair to the length that you want it to, despite all the effort you put into your hair care. It just seems like it's just at a standstill or it's getting shorter and shorter. Okay. Um, that can really be discouraging big time. It really can. I hear a lot of people say things like, I've tried everything and I'm tired and I just want to cut it all off. Don't do that. Don't cut all your hair off because a lot of times the hair that is on your head is salvageable. Okay, y'all? It's salvageable. You don't have to start from scratch. You don't. Oh, I'm reading some of the comments. Took my wig off for the day. My hair is a mess. I don't care about your hair being a mess. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you, get your hair to not be in a mess. Okay. But yeah. So the first thing I want to do is explain, the difference between breaks and shedding because some people don't understand that. They get it confused. So understanding the difference will help you better know the course of action you should take in your hair care routine. Okay? Because if your hair is shedding, that could be a whole totally different problem besides like the products you use. It could be, as I previously had before, the hormone replacement therapy like took my hair out. My hair was shedding in clumps because of that. But um, I want to tell you guys like the difference in between breakage and shedding so you can know. And so you can kind of go branch off and go from there and see what you have to do with your hair care. So let me explain the difference. Um, Shedding is part of the hair's natural cycle. So your hair does shed. You cannot stop your hair from shedding. I don't care what people tell you. People always like, stop hair shedding. You can't do it. It's part of the hair cycle. So it's where the strands fall out at the follicle and that's like the end of the cycle, your hair cycle. So you'll see those little white bulbs for the most part on like the roots of the hair. You'll see those, and that's hair shedding. And generally, you'll shed anywhere from 50 to 100, or a little bit more, depending on genetics. Hair a day. That's normal. It's normal for you whenever you comb or brush your hair for a few strands to come out. That's very normal. Okay. So, when your hair sheds, that means that it's completed the growth cycle. Okay. Broken hairs are usually shorter than the length of your hair. Um, they don't have the white bulb at the root. This indicates the hair has snapped along the hair shaft rather than falling out of the root. I know sometimes when you comb and brush your hair, you might see little pieces in your comb and brush, or if you're combing in the bathroom, you might see some pieces in the sink, or you might even see some on your shoulder, and you're like, that. Um, when you run your fingers through your hair, sometimes you might see some on your hand, and it's not long hairs, it's a little short pieces that come off. And that's generally like your hair breaking. And so we want to prevent that from happening. We want to prevent that from happening because generally when hair breaks, it breaks for the most part from the ends. So we're trying to preserve the ends of your hair, which is the most fragile part of your hair shaft because that's the oldest part. So we want to preserve that by any means necessary. So let's just talk about some ways to prevent breakage so you can finally start seeing some length. I know a lot of people really want, everybody doesn't want long hair. I know everybody doesn't want long hair. Some people, they just want to grow their hair to a point where they can put it up in a bun or ponytail. They don't want hair all down, their back and stuff like that. Everybody's hair goal is not waist length. And that's fine. You have to do what's best for, your lifestyle and what you can handle. Because I find for me personally, the longer my hair gets, I just don't feel like doing it. And sometimes when you're dealing with hair that's like way down your back, then that means shampoo day is like 3 times as long as what it would be as if it was on your shoulders. So, everybody doesn't want long hair, but for those who do, but still, healthy hair is just as good. Your goal might be to have healthy hair that's just as good. But healthy hair will reward you by gaining length. And that's the funny thing about it. So if you want long hair, all you have to do is focus on getting your hair healthy. And so we're going to focus on today how to do some things to prevent breakage. And a lot of times, it's just simple stuff that you might not even think about. Okay. But everybody's head of hair is different too, and everybody's hair goals are different. And everybody's styling routine is different. Everybody uses different products. So it might be different depending on what you have going on in your life. So one thing I want to say, and this is something I always say, is be very gentle to your hair. Always be gentle to your hair. Treat your hair with kid love. Treat your hair like you love it from the bottom of your heart, regardless of whether or not it's as thick as you want it, regardless of not it's as long as you want, regardless of whether or not you have too much gray or, whether or not the curl pattern is where you want it to be, regardless of all those things, you have to work with the hair that God has given you and learn to love your hair. So loving your hair will cause you to be gentle to your hair. Okay. Always be gentle to your hair. So anything that you do to your hair, whether it's washing it, brushing it, styling it, moisturizing it, whatever you're doing, whether you're touching it, be gentle to your hair. Do not rough comb your hair. Do not rough brush your hair. Do not be rough with your hair. If you cannot find time within your hair care routine to be gentle to your hair, especially on shampoo day, skip it and wait for another day. Okay. Um, oh, YouTube is looking pretty good. There we go. Skip it and wait for another day. That's what I always tell people. So, one thing I see a lot of people do is ripping out their hair bands, their hair bands they put for ponytails. I see them take it and they rip it out of their hair. You've got to stop doing that. You got to be gentle. You got to gently unwind the band, or even I have done before, like sometimes if your hair has been up in a protective style for a long period of time, like a bun, a week, and you see that maybe like trying to take it out, it might be some hairs tangled around it. You can kind of like coax it and then maybe snip it and let it just unravel. That's a gentle way of taking it out, but never rip it out from like the roots to the ends. I've seen so many people do that. And I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. That causes damage and breakage. Little things like that that you can tweak in your hair care routine will help you get to where you need to be. Okay. So whenever you're combing and brushing your hair, be gentle. Always take small sections. A lot of people just want to take everything as a whole. You cannot do that with textured hair. You cannot do that with hair. You've got to make sure that you're taking sections. And one thing that I started doing, especially on my hair care journey and trying to get my hair back from, losing it, shedding from the HRT, is I started taking like really small sections, like 1 or 2 inch sections, and brushing my hair that way. Because I used to do like, a couple of sections and brush it, but now I started taking several sections, over my head, like small sections, and brushing and combing and moisturizing and just taking my time and being gentle. And that has prevented a lot of breakage, because when your hair is, on the mend, it can be a little bit more fragile. And if you are more gentle to it, you can prevent a lot of that breakage from happening if you just take your time and be gentle with your hair. Okay. Moisturize your hair in sections, shampoo and condition in sections. Everything you do, do in the sections. When you style your hair, do in the sections. Don't ever do anything as a whole. I see a lot of people just taking a brush and just or a comb and just going as a whole. Stop doing everything as a whole, and it will make a big difference in like the overall breakage that you're experiencing in your hair. So be very gentle in your hair care routine. Everything that you do, be gentle, take your time. And one thing I tell people too is a lot of times people rush, or they say they don't have time to do it, but there's always some time throughout the day where you can take time to, sit down and not rush through your hair care routine. I know in the evening times, I like to wind down and maybe watch some YouTube or watch television or something. And that for me is a prime time for me to be able to just sit there and just mindlessly do sections of my hair. And by the time your television show is over with, you haven't even noticed that you finished doing your hair. It's one of the best times to do it. So do it while you're doing that. Do it while you're relaxing instead of, make it not a chore. Because when you make it a chore, then you dread it. And it's like, I gotta do my hair. No, don't dread it. Do it while you're doing something you love. And if you're idly doing something, you could be, I don't know, listening to audio books or something like that. You can listen to audiobooks and be gentle with your hair. Moisturize your hair. Okay. Okay. One thing I want to stress also is you need to limit heat styling. Uh, your hair is not meant to be heat styled all the time. It's just not. I remember back in the day, before we start really learning about hair care, and most everybody, their hair was relaxed. That was like the rite of passage back in the day. Everybody relaxed their hair. And people would get into the habit of bumping the ends every day so it could stay fresh looking. Don't do that. None of that. Bumping the ends all the time. Um, No using flat irons, curling irons, blow dryers, any other heat appliances that will cause your hair to become dry and break. Don't do that. If you use those things too often, then by all means, your hair is going to wind up becoming dry and it's going to break. It's just going to happen. I don't care what you do. If you're using heat on your hair too often, it's going to break. I would suggest that you limit heat to days when you're going to be shampooing and deep conditioning your hair, especially for my straight naturals, my straight natural folks. uh, because a lot of times you'll get like the edges, they'll start reverting a little bit, and you'll be like, oh, let me touch it up. No, you better leave that alone. You better leave it alone. You better leave it alone. Learn how to tie your hair up in ways where it'll stay smooth. Like this silk press is 2 weeks old, but whenever I'm exercising, whenever I'm in the shower, even um, underneath my shower cap, I'm putting on something around my edges so that they won't revert as quickly. When I'm massaging, I sweat a little bit in my scalp, but I'll tie something, pretty firmly on my head so, it won't revert there. So tie your hair down so you can prevent trying to use heat on your hair and looking smooth and polished. Now, in this day and age, a lot of people work, from home and they work, on the computers and stuff. And you don't have to look as polished as you did, when you had to go to work every day and be in the office. So, you can you can put your scarf around your head and stuff like that and not be seen unless make you get on camera. But, we have a little bit more liberty with that, and we don't have to be as polished. So, limit your heat. You don't always have to be smooth and polished, because this is the thing. Healthy hair is not polished hair. If you want your hair healthy, you cannot have your hair 100% polished 100% of the time. That's just not possible. It's too much styling. It's too much styling and stress that you're putting on your hair. Okay. So limit your heat styling to shampoo and deep conditioning day. But if you can stretch it out even further than that, like if you can stretch out heat even more than that, and I'm especially talking to my straight naturals, by all means, do that. Like I know some straight naturals, they'll go like a month without heat on their hair. They'll just get their hair silk pressed once a month. And that's fine. That works for a lot of people. Some people it doesn't work for, but a lot of people it does work for. Also my relaxed girls, uh, no bumping of the ends every day. No pressing out the edges to get them slick. None of that stuff. Stop. Don't do that. And limit your heat too. Just because you're relaxed doesn't mean that you can, put more heat on your hair. Hair is hair regardless of whether or not it's being chemically treated. So my relaxed girls, y'all need to keep the heat off your hair. The relaxer gets it pretty manageable, and a lot of people like it straight, to get it pretty much relaxed bone straight. So just be mindful, stop with the heat. Heat is definitely something that a lot of people do that they don't realize causes a lot of breakage. It causes so much dryness and breakage. Like if you put heat on your hair every single day, every time you do that, the heat is like zapping the moisture out of your strands, and it has to be replenished. And most people don't do that. Most people don't replenish the moisture. So stop with the heat. Yeah. Okay. And speaking of relaxers, if you are relaxing your hair, do not relax too often. Okay. It's nearly impossible to not overlap a little when applying relaxer to the new growth. And so you don't want to overprocess your hair and cause breakage. So the best thing to do is to stretch your relaxers. That way you can see the new growth in the line of demarcation a lot better, when you have new growth. And so when I say stretch relaxers, I'm talking about maybe 12, 16 or more weeks. That way you can have a bunch of new growth. So the chances of you overlapping, um, will lessen. So make sure you're doing that. Stretch them out. Don't be getting your relaxers like every 6 to 8 weeks. That's too often. We don't need those type of chemicals on our hair that often anyway. But most people, I know there's still a lot of people out there that do relax their hair, and that's fine. But I know a lot of people have chosen to not relax their hair. But there's no judgment here. You do what's best for you. And so my relaxed girls, y'all stretch some relaxers out. And in between relaxers, you can, on shampoo day, you can use your flat iron to get those roots straight the way you want them. You don't have to keep relaxing your hair to get your hair straight. Our hair is not meant to be straight all the time like that. So, you can, on shampoo day, if you're shampooing once a week, every 2 weeks, whatever, you can use the heat to get your roots straight. Stretch it out. At least I would say 16 weeks if you can. Yeah, but some people, they say that their hair starts shedding if they stretch it out too long, but I think that's more of a moisture issue than it is a stretch and relaxer issue. All right. Also, for my relaxed girls, if you're concerned about overlapping, you can also put conditioners on your previously relaxed hair, or oils or petroleum jelly to help protect the previously relaxed hair. So if it does overlap a little bit, those strands will be protected. Okay. So I'm going to preach this again because I probably say this in almost every video. Okay. Make sure that you are deep conditioning your hair. There are still people out there who don't deep condition their hair. And it really surprises me that in this day and age, people still don't take the time in their hair care routine to not deep condition. So you're going to hear me preach it until I'm blue in the face because it's so very important. Deep conditioning is key to preventing breakage. Deep conditioning infuses the hair with moisture and nutrients and makes the hair shaft soft and supple. Deep conditioning will change the game for you if you aren't doing it. Do it, do it, do it. Do it every time you shampoo. Deep condition. Most of us who have textured hair, we're only shampooing once every 2 weeks. Some of us once a week. Deep condition every time, or you can sit under the hooded dryer with a cap on your head, or you can do the steam treatment. Steam treatments are great because it really infuses like deep into the strands of moisture. Make sure that you're deep conditioning. So deep conditioning opens up the cuticles and allows for the emollients and conditioning agents to absorb deep into your strands. This process locks in the moisture and it helps prevent breakage. And so that you'll notice that when you're deep conditioning properly, your hair will feel soft and moisturized. And you don't have to put like on the day that you do it, you don't have to put a lot of stuff on your hair because the conditioner has done its job. All right. Hold on a second. Let me see what's going on over here. All right. Yeah, and I'll be answering questions at the end as well, y'all. So hold tight. We're almost done. All right. So especially my straight naturals and my relaxed girls, I know that y'all don't like to do this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. You got to moisturize your hair. Moisturize your hair in between shampoo days. Oh, but it's gonna weigh my hair down. It's gonna make my hair look greasy. Well, let me tell you something. When you're in the process of getting your hair healthy, in the process of growing your hair longer, there's certain sacrifices that you have to make. And one of those is moisturizing your hair, keeping your hair moist so it won't break. Okay? So once you get to your goal length, maybe you can stop doing as much and you can go into maintenance mode. But for the time being, while you're trying to get there, well, I think after you get there too, you need to moisturize your hair in between shampoo days. Now, everybody doesn't need the same amount. Some people can maybe do it a couple of times. Some people have to do it every day. It really just depends on your hair. Yeah, because the moisture from the deep conditioning is great, but it won't last forever. So it's vital that you moisturize in between shampoo days. And you got to get to know your hair and its moisture cycle, because with my hair, I can deep condition my hair and I can go about 3 days without adding any moisture to it. But after that, I need to start adding moisture to it. But somebody else, they might have to add moisture back the next day. It just really depends, especially people with more coily hair. And I know my 4C and my 4D girls a lot of times tend to complain about their hair being really dry. So they probably are, gonna moisturize their hair one shampoo day and probably every day beyond that. Um, so keeping your hair moisturized, it helps prevent breakage. It just does. It keeps your hair soft and supple in between shampoo days. And your hair will usually tell you when it's ready to be moisturized again. Like you can feel it and it'll start to feel more dry as the days go on, you know, and then that's when you add the moisture back in. So you have to find out what your cycle is. It could be every other day, it could be twice a week, it could be every day, it could be once a week. So you have to really get to know your hair and see what your moisture cycle is. Very important. Okay. Um, Another thing too is finding the balance between moisture and protein. A lot of people struggle with that. But the thing is it's something that's not set in stone for each person because everybody is created by God uniquely, and there's no two heads of hair that are exactly alike. So you could have two people who seemingly have the same texture of hair, but each head of hair has separate needs. So you have to kind of get to know your hair and find out what your hair needs as far as the moisture and protein balance is concerned. But it's key to keeping your hair healthy and strong so that your hair can resist breaking. Because we've got to get our hair to stop breaking so it can remain healthy and full and grow longer. Generally, hair that is chemically treated relaxes in colors, relaxes in color, will need protein more often. Because protein helps rebuild the hair. Also, if you use heat regularly, you will need protein treatments more often. Um, if you wear your hair natural, you don't put heat on your hair and stuff like that, because some of my natural girls, you just wear like air dry styles or you just wear buns and stuff like that. You don't need protein as much. So it can be kind of confusing as far as like that because you're like, oh, but my hair loves moisture and hates protein, but you got to do it sometimes, because protein actually adds back to your hair what it needs as far as structure and rebuilding. So, um, if you're natural, you can stretch protein out a little bit longer. You might not need it, but every quarter or something like that. If you're wearing natural styles or you're not putting heat on your hair and stuff like that. Um, One thing I want to say about protein treatments is that everybody always wants to veer towards the strongest protein treatments. No, you don't need that. There's other protein treatments out there that are very light, and they provide like a nice balance to your hair just to keep it strong, but not overly. There's a lot of people they want to do like the really super intense protein treatments that when you open the bottle, you can smell it and it smells really intense. You don't need to do that. Those protein treatments are generally if you're trying to do some major repair for the hair. But if at any time you do decide you want to do one of those, make sure that you follow that type of protein treatment up like with an intense moisturizing treatment. So an intense moisturizing conditioner, and that'll prevent breakage. Because if you just do the protein treatment alone, it'll make your hair brittle, and then you'll wind up like that'll backfire, and then you'll wind up with broken hair still. So make sure that after you rinse all that out, the intense protein treatment, that you follow that up with an intense moisturizing treatment to prevent breakage. Some hair can tolerate protein better than others. So be careful to not overdo protein as it can backfire and cause your hair to become brittle and break. So you got to really pay attention like to your hair after you've done the protein treatment, like really pay attention to how your hair responds, how it feels and stuff like that before make a cycle of how often you want to do protein. I know my hair likes protein, so the protein treatment I use is American Extreme Cat, and I can use that as often as twice a month with no problems. It's a really good protein treatment. Yeah. And I know people are like twice a month. Let me tell you something. If you know your hair, you can do those type of things. Now, I don't use it twice a month regularly, but when I'm trying to like restore and rebuild, I'll do that for, a couple, maybe 2 or 3 months, you know, and then I'll cut it off and go back to a regular moisture, mostly moisture and then protein balance. So those are the type of things that you have to know when it comes to your hair care. Okay. Another thing I want to say is make sure that you're using the right styling tools because it's still in this day and age, people who are using the wrong types of combs and brushes. Okay, wide tooth combs, and then those brushes with the paddles that have like the sparse what do you call those bristles? What the detangling brushes, those are best for our hair. They'll be beneficial to you. They're more gentle on your hair. They allow you to gently comb and brush your hair. If you use like the combs with the smaller teeth, then you most definitely gonna come back with some hair in the comb. Okay, so try to get wider teeth comb. Um, and for whatever reason, if you do use like a boar bristle brush, which some people still do, because I have one, and sometimes I use it whenever I want to brush my hair back. Don't make a daily habit of it. Some people, they use it every single day trying to slick back their edges or slick their nape up, to put it up in a ponytail or a bun. And I have seen so many people wind up having breakage all around the perimeter from using uh, the boar bristle brush too often, like every single day, because then you'll have like short hair here. It'll be like really short here. So don't do that. To leave the boar bristle brush on, you can either smooth your hair back, with your hands, or you can take a comb too and smooth your hair back, or just keep it tied down so, it won't puff up as much. But be creative and find ways to keep your hair, more smooth and polished if you need to. Be creative with it. You don't always have to use heat. You don't always have to use brushes. You don't always have to use gel, all those type of things. Keep it down. And I'm gonna tell you something. In this society, everybody's so obsessed with edges, but look, do you want like edges or do you want like healthy hair? I actually saw a video recently where the hairstylist literally like combed some of the person's hair out and they cut it short to make edges so they could do the whole swoopy thing that people always do. And she also relaxed it. And I was just like, is it really that serious? Y'all, you know, I'm more about healthy hair. I'm really not into the whole polished styling and all that type of stuff because I think healthy hair is beautiful in itself. It doesn't have to be polished, you know. Yeah, polished hair is hard to keep. You have to sleep funny. Nobody wants to sleep funny every night to try to keep a hairstyle. Okay. So let's talk about ponytails and buns. Um, don't wear them too tight. A lot of times people they put it in there and then you get the headache. Don't do that. And also, don't wear them in the exact same position all the time. Experiment with different places so you won't run into ponytail and bun breakage. Like, you know, I would say even week to week or every few days or whatever, switch it up. Like today I'm wearing this high, but normally I wear it back here, or I'll switch it to the middle, or I'll switch it to the side, or I'll switch it to this side, or I'll part it down the middle and put two. So experiment with different placements of your ponytail and bun so you won't run into ponytail and bun breakage. And make sure whenever you're putting your hair into ponytails and buns, the band that you're using, make sure that you apply um, oil or something to the band so the band won't absorb the moisture out of your hair. That's a little trick for you. Yeah. So, yep. So I know that everybody has different hair care routines. And you may have to pay special attention to what you're doing. You may have tried to figure it out and you just can't. A lot of people just can't, or maybe they don't have the time to figure it out and they need direction. I do offer one-on-one video consultations for those who need further guidance and direction in their hair care. So that's something that you guys are interested in. I'll put I'll put the link in the chat and you can go check that out. Oh, for my YouTube ladies, hold up a second. Let me get you the link. Double. I do offer one-on-one hair consultations, and it's a video consultation where we come in together. I see your hair, and I ask you questions and everything, and I'll offer you advice as to what you can do about your hair care routine, how you can, get it revamped, tweak it, and get it going to where your hair is growing and becoming more healthy. I'm putting it in the chat for YouTube. Okay. All right. And also, let me say this. I would also like for you all to, I would love for you all to check out my brand new hair care line. And it's getting some great reviews. I'm so excited about that. Lengthy Strands. So if you're looking for incredibly moisturized, soft, manageable hair, my Mega Moisture Deep Penetrating Conditioner is amazing. And I have it right here. And so far, my curly girls are really loving this stuff. They are really loving it. They're saying that it's really making their curls pop. So I love that, making them soft and moisturized. That's the feedback that I'm getting. I'm excited about that. So it helps you breathe through the tangling. It softens your hair and make it super manageable. And even for my girls who have super dry hair, my 4C girls, y'all, don't sleep on this conditioner, okay? And the moisture lasts well beyond shampoo day. It helps prevent breakage by locking in deep moisture into your strands and providing a protective layer. Your hair will feel soft, smooth, and moisturized after you rinse it out. Yeah. And then the lengthy strands detangling shampoo will gently cleanse and provide a soft conditioning feel even after you rinse it out. And it helps detangle your hair as well. So I would love you guys to support me and go check out the products at lengthystrands.com. I'll put that in the chat. And also, for the people who are in this call, hold up a second. Let me put it in YouTube too. Oh, YouTube. This is the link for my website, lengthystrands.com. And for the people who are in this call, I have a special coupon code for 10% off on everything in the store until Friday night. If you want to make a purchase, and I'll put it here too. Oops. Give me a second. 10% off. Go check out the site, y'all. Do not sleep on these hair care products. The feedback is even better than what I thought it was going to be, even though I know my products are great. I know they are, but everybody thinks their stuff is great. But people are really giving me amazing feedback. And I'm so excited about that because as an owner, a lot of times when you put something out there, you know what's good, but you want everybody else to think it too. But everybody else does. Thank you, Jesus, because he's the one that gave me this. And of course, anything that he gives you is good. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. But yeah, I really have enjoyed doing it. I have enjoyed starting up doing this class again because you guys know that I love to teach and I love to help people. And I'm glad to see so many beautiful faces out here in support and just soaking up this hair care knowledge that I have. But yeah, I'm going to continue posting on YouTube every single week and continue doing classes so I can help as many people as possible. And I have some other things coming up in the future that you guys might be excited about and interested in. Okay. So we're going to go on ahead and open up for questions. So if anybody has any questions, you can either come on the mic or type it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to uh, maybe give you some advice on that.
Hey, ma'am.
Hi, Priscilla.
Hey,
How are you?
um, I
Oh,
was,
that's here.
yes, here.
Okay. Yeah.
I was
Hey.
curious. You actually hit the nail on the head when you were talking about the protein treatments. It was something I had been curious about re-attempting. I've tried protein treatments prior to now, and they were always too
Uh-huh.
heavy for my hair. I was left feeling brittle and dry, and then it felt like
Mhm.
not even deep conditioning after that got me back to where I needed to be. So now I'm intimidated because my hair is so fine and soft. I need something light. And
Okay.
I wanted to know if you had any suggestions.
And what protein treatment did you use previously?
Oh gosh, I think one, does ORS have one?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was one with ORS. I did like a
Hmm.
homemade one when they were, big on YouTube.
Hmm.
And I can't remember the other brand. I went through three though, and after I kept getting the same results, and I
Mhm.
was already struggling growing my hair and the breakage,
Mhm.
I I didn't even try after that. So if you already know of any that you would consider on the lighter side,
Mhm. Yeah, I
okay.
do. Yeah. Yeah. And you just might have hair that doesn't need as much protein.
I probably
And it
don't.
might
I
kind of,
just
it probably hates protein, as a matter of fact. It's a lot of people who their hair is like, I know I need it, but I don't want it. Yeah.
okay.
But one of my go-tos is the Joico K-Pack. When I say light protein,
Oh, okay.
oh, it's like you can use it every shampoo light. It's very light
Okay.
and it smells good. It smells like bananas and cinnamon. I still use it to this day, because it's really, really good. And your hair will feel soft after you use it. It's one of those protein treatments I feel that you don't need to follow it up with a moisture treatment because it has a balance in it already. So I would say try that. And even if you want to do like a patch test on your hair to see how your hair responds before you use it, do that, because you don't want to put all over your head and then all of a sudden you're like, ah, just take a section, in the back maybe or something like that, and just put it on there, let it sit, for a little while and rinse it off and see how your hair feels. But that protein treatment was a staple for me in the salon and I still use it to this day. So try that one out. Okay. Anybody else want to come on the mic? Okay. So I'll look to the chat and see what questions we have here. All right. Oh, Vera says, I'm relaxed and I have used your products once. I was very impressed. Looking forward to using them again. That makes me sing. That makes me sing, y'all. I'm so excited about. Thank you so much, Vera, for purchasing and supporting and everything. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. That makes me really happy. Thank you. Okay, so Alva, what was the name of the protein you use on your hair? It's called oh, Redken Extreme Cat. Yeah, Redken Extreme Cat. And I don't know where they sell it because it's one of those professional products, and you might be able to go to some place like Ulta and get it, but I don't know. You might be able to, you know what? My
How
Amazon,
do
you might be in
how do you
Amazon.
spell it, Tamika?
It's I put in the chat, Redken,
Okay, okay.
Redken.
Oh, I see it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, reckon.
You see
Okay.
it? Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you, dear. Can you see
I'm gonna
my
look at the
other
rest of the
ones there?
questions. Yeah, I'm looking. Okay,
Okay.
stylists put a keratin treatment in my hair without discussing with me beforehand. Oh, what? Okay.
Carrot. We talking about the keratin.
Yes.
Oh, it took
Why
out
do
all my
people
hair.
do that? Why do people do things without your permission?
I don't know. And my family kept telling me, she told me she was giving me texturizers. But my family kept telling me, don't no texturizer make your hair that straight. So I finally
No.
asked her. And she said, well, I
Mhm.
put a keratin in. I said, I wish you had shared that with me because I had received a keratin treatment before and it just
Mhm.
shedded all my hair and I started over natural. So this time I'm just afraid to do anything again. I'm starting fresh again. So I was
Well,
looking for when I saw your new brand, I thought, well, maybe that will help me because it's so tight when I'm starting out fresh. And so it's
mm-hmm.
like, I mean, it's stretchy, but I'm the type
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to put stuff on my hair either. So
Yeah,
I
I love
really
your color because I
appreciate
was
your,
eyeing it the whole time I was teaching. I love
yeah.
it.
Well, I
Your
appreciate
color
your
is amazing.
information you gave tonight on moisture. So
Oh, you're very welcome. And
that
and
helped me.
definitely, if you do decide to try my products,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of gray hair people think that they don't work on, but my products are fantastic for gray hair.
Oh,
Because gray
great.
hair needs
Yeah,
super
it
moisture
gets
because
yellow.
it's so wiry.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yeah.
It will soften your hair like no other, and it will make your curls pop.
Oh, great.
I'm partially gray too. I think I'm
Uh-huh.
probably about 20% gray. And so I know
Oh,
that my
I was gonna
grays
say
be
you
acting.
10. You look like you
Mm,
10 or 5. Okay.
I don't know because you don't see the back of my hair.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in there.
it's
I'm
beautiful.
about 20%. But thank
Okay.
you. But yeah, so no worries. Whenever you're starting over, just kind of relax about it and just
Okay.
take good solid like what I give you guys and apply it. Don't be going to other people. Stay with me and
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
information that I, because I'm
right.
going to try my best to help you get there. I'm not going to do anything that's going to be harmful to you. I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
truthful with you because I
Right.
want the
I
best for
understand.
you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
70 years old, and so I need to keep what I have. I, I
Yes.
need to
But your
keep
hair's
it.
so full. I
But
love
and
it.
people mistaking it for coarse hair all the time.
Hmm.
And so
Probably because it's
they
so
over
full.
process it because it
Hmm.
has a
Yeah.
little thickness to it. But I
Yeah. You
lost a
probably,
lot up in here.
I can almost guarantee you that you probably have fine strands, but high density. And that's probably
Oh,
where people go with the over processing because they automatically look at at your hair overall and they're like, oh,
uh-huh.
it's so thick. It needs super everything. No,
Uh-uh.
when you look
No.
at people's hair, you don't look at the overall picture. You also
Hmm.
look at the strands to see how thick the strands are. If the strands are fine, it doesn't matter how much is on there, it still needs to be treated with
Yeah.
fine thing
Well, I
for
went
fine hair.
to
So
a beauty school to get some advice, and they told me I
hmm
always have to be careful because it was medium fine, but it had thickness, and people always take it for coarse hair
hmm
and put the
yeah, the
super
density is
products on my head.
hmm
So I learned
no.
that little part, but
That's right. Yeah.
I
But yeah, just
appreciate
keep
you,
learning.
Tamika.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
I
very welcome.
had, oh, didn't
Keep
I? Oh,
learning.
no, no, you gave it to me. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yep. Oh, you're very welcome. All right. Let's see if we have more questions in chat. I'm getting ready to go over to YouTube and see what's the best moisturizer for relaxed hair? Oils and one of my favorite oils for moisturizing relaxed hair is argan oil. Yeah, works great for relaxed hair. Okay. Yep. But you don't put anything wet on there because it'll cause it to revert. You don't want that to happen. Okay, let's go over to YouTube and see what we have going on here. Let's see if we have any questions. Cherie says, I remember you from the forum. Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How often should type 4A hair be moisturized a week? It really depends on, um, you know, your hair. It depends on like your moisture cycle. Generally, for type 4 hair, it tends to be a little bit more coily. You're going to have to moisturize a little bit more. So probably if you wanted me to give you something general, I would say every other day. Okay. All right. Um, Tanisha, hi, I'm new to your channel. I'm natural for 10 years. I have some breakage like in the middle, and I'm over being natural. Do you think I should get my hair together first or just a relaxer instead? Girl, I really don't recommend anybody relaxing. I'm not saying I'm judging you for relaxing because if that's what you need to do, do that. But our hair is so much more healthy when it's in the natural state. So if you can try to get your natural hair together first, like give it a chance. Like take the tips and tricks and advice I give you for a little while and give it a chance and see if you can get it restored. And if after all that is said and done, and you can't handle it anymore, it's still unmanageable and you still, having issues, by all means, you can do what you want to do for your hair. But one thing I will tell you is that generally people with relaxers struggle with breakage more than people who are natural because you have chemicals that have broken down the structure of your hair. And so now you have to do things to keep your hair from, breaking down further. You have to make sure that you're doing all the right things because we're putting a chemical in your hair. So that's a little bit more work as far as like making sure it's conditioned properly, protein and all that type of stuff properly. So don't rush to relaxer just yet. Try to still like work with it natural for now and see if you can combat whatever that is. It sounds like you have maybe some crown breakage, so it might be something that you're doing that you don't get that you're doing. Um, and if that was reversed, that would solve your problem. But since I don't see your hair, then I can't tell you that. But by all means, just kind of analyze it a little bit more and see before you go to relaxers, because relaxers and within itself is another set of issues. Okay. Okay. Lanaya. Hey, Tamika, what's the best hair care for the more mature women with natural hair? I would say mine because look, my line, y'all. They say people they get on me for toot my own horn, but I can't help it because my products work so well. They really do. I really put my foot in getting these products out here. Like I worked with a chemist for over a year getting these products formulated so they could do what I needed them to do. and they soften, they moisturize, they smooth, they hydrate, they intense moisture in your hair. Try my products out. Don't sleep on them. They work so well. And my curly girls are really giving me the feedback, and they're saying that their hair is doing so well, like major curl definition, with my products. So, try the products out. I'm gonna say mine. Okay. Anna says, I love Joico K-Pack. Oh, the Joico Moisture Balm. I used to use that back in the day. And you got to be careful because if you use too much, it'll weigh it down, but it's nice and rich and thick. So that's a good product too. Hello. Hey, Daisy. Hey, long time no speak. How are you? Okay. And they says, don't forget to like and comment. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are some of the sweetest people. Okay, Daisy. Hi, Tamika. What is the name of the protein treatment that you just recommended? Is it good for natural hair? Yeah, it's good for all hair types. It's called Redken Extreme Cat. Okay. Do you think temporary dye is harmful to the hair? You can color your hair. When you say temporary dye, I'm thinking more of a rinse, something that's going to rinse off over time. So those tend to be very gentle. And they tend to have, conditioning treatments in there and proteins in there that help your hair. And actually, a lot of times your hair will appear healthier and feel healthier with a rinse on there. So I don't see anything wrong with rinses. Yeah, just don't do them too often. Okay. Anna, I was thinking of going relaxed, but I decided to go on a straight natural journey this year. Is weekly wash day too much for straight natural routine? I would say yes, because I actually experienced like some people in my salon that would come to me every week, and I used to beg them to stop coming to me every week, even though the money was good. I love making money, but I also love your hair. So finally, some of my people, I was like, stop coming every week and come every 2 weeks. And when they finally started doing it every 2 weeks, that's when I started seeing their hair start coming down. So once a week is too much to put heat on your hair as a straight natural. Yeah. Do I offer free trial sizes? Unfortunately, at this time, I don't. It wouldn't be cost effective for me to do this at the time. But as my brand grows, gets bigger, by all means, I'll be offering sample sizes. Yeah. And I forgot to put the cent on the coupon. The coupon was free class AP9 for 10% off on your purchase up until Friday, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Okay. What is a good moisturizing shampoo and conditioner for relaxed hair? Mine. I'm going to recommend mine. But if you don't want to buy my stuff, any of the Joico Hydro Splash products are really good. I'm trying to think what else. That I use in salon. Any of the Redken So Long Damage products are really good. Yeah. Those are products I still, veer to because even though I have my own products, those products are still really good. I'm not going to downplay, other good products out there just because mine are up to par too. My products are great though. Give them a try. All right, let's see if we have any more questions. Does anybody else want to come on the mic and ask questions? Or you have comments or anything like that?
Hi, Tamika. This is Priscilla. Can you hear me?
Hi, Priscilla. Hi.
Hi. She came on camera. I'm right here.
Hey.
And can you see it?
You're welcome, Lanaya.
Yeah.
Yes, your hair is nice and thick.
Yeah. It's actually been following you for several years, and
Okay.
I purchased your hair products, but I was just wanting you to see how thick it is
It's
and
nice and thick.
length. And that's the thing because I've been trying to do the moisture, and it's
Uh-huh.
just so thick. Yeah, and I think I have to do mine daily to keep it, moisturized.
Yeah. And some
So,
people do have to do daily. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Especially in a natural state like that, it just kind of sucks it up. Yeah.
yeah.
How often do you shampoo? How often do you shampoo?
Well, sometimes I do 2 weeks to 4 weeks because I try to keep it in braids or twist. And I took it at loose because I was going to wash it today, but I said since you had your thing tonight, I just wanted to show you, how really thick it because it was probably
It's beautiful.
yeah, but I have to follow you and yeah, I looked at your routine on how to wash the hair, and it really did help to retain length. So I was just letting you know that it has been growing. You hadn't seen it when I first started, but it has grown a lot since I started following you.
Well, that's awesome. Just make sure you take your before and after pictures too, so you can keep up with your progress. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well, thank
awesome.
you so much.
Congratulations and thank you so much. Thank you for your
Yes.
support. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Know once I start your products, once I start using them, because I'll probably wash it maybe tonight or tomorrow, and I'll let you know. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the products are going to be great. But I was just letting you know I do
Yeah,
plan to use.
they're going to really soften you up like big time and make it manageable. One of the number one things that people were saying about the products is that it cuts down their shampooing and conditioning time, like the routine time is cutting it down all the way. So that's one
Okay.
thing that I'm hearing, which I already, I knew that anyway, but just to hear people say it. So
Yeah.
like if your hair is thick and hard to get through, it's going to make it super manageable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Because
So
I need
I'm
it.
excited
Okay.
for you. Let me know how it works.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. How often should protein, how often should you use protein in your relaxed hair and what do you recommend? Oh, but the funny thing about hair is this, let me tell you guys this, because hair is hair regardless of whether or not it's relaxed or natural. Now, it might have slightly different needs, but hair is still made out of protein. So the same products that you can use for natural hair, you can use for relaxed hair. It's not really like any like differences there, like major differences there. So the Joico K-Pack is a great protein conditioner to use on your relaxed hair as well. Yeah. And actually those products were not designed for our hair, for texture hair like this, but you know how we do. Products that come out on the market and we'll get hold of them and we'll show people that they're made for our hair. And that's what happened like with Joico. Joico, they didn't make those products for this type of hair. But we started using them. I started talking about them and I was like, oh, they do work for our hair. Because the thing is, hair is hair. It really is. It really is. Like we have our different textures and different needs, but the structure of hair is protein. So, you can like use different products outside of the normal boxes, outside of like the black hair care aisle that we tend to stick to. You can go over to the other aisle and look at stuff too. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see. Got another question here. Do you do any collaboration with other hair care YouTubers for textured hair? I have not done that, but if somebody approached me, then I by all means would take it into consideration. And it's so nice to see you too, Daisy. Well, you've been around a long time, Daisy, from like the back in the day, girl. It's so good to see you. Okay, Shelly, can you mix Apogee with cholesterol to form a creamier protein product? I would never have thought to do that, but I mean, you could try it and do like a strand test and see if it'll work. If you wanted something creamier, because I know Apogee, that stuff be like, it gets hard. But yeah, but make sure if you do that, if you decide to do it on your hair, follow up with a super moisturizing, hydrating conditioner and then decondition your hair. Okay. All right. So yes. So we're going to go on ahead and uh like end the call. But guys, go check out my products. They're great. Yes, I really appreciate all the support that has been given so far, and I really appreciate each and every one of you who watch my videos, who comment, who like, who subscribe, who come to the classes. I really appreciate all the love and support. I could not do this without you all. I just want to let you know that I love you guys so very much. I thank God for each and every one of you, and I do pray for my audience. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. So with that being said, we're going to end this call, and I pray that you guys have a blessed, amazing evening. God bless you, and I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, bye.
Sequoia, who's that cutie over there?
This is my daughter. Hi. Hi.
Good to
See,
see
I've been
you.
watching you, Miss Tamika, for a long time, and we've been growing her hair
Awesome.
out. Her hair is down her back. She just got a little style for picture day the other day.
Oh, that is amazing. Congratulations. I'm sure your pictures are beautiful. So exciting. So exciting. I love your beads too. Oh gosh. Well, good night to everybody.
Good night.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
Good night. Bye, Jaden.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Alba. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Mama Div, by the way, your skin looks so beautiful. It's so radiant.
Thank you.
You look
Thank
so
you.
you look
That's the
very
new.
oh, say hi.
Huh?
Oh, my sister said, say hi,
Hey,
Mom.
cutie.
Wanna get your hair
Oh my
long?
gosh, you look just like you, Jaden.
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Night.
Good
Thank you.
night, everybody.